Welcome Motivation Sunday. Welcome Motivation Sunday.
Welcome to another edition of Motivational Sundays with Kevin and friends. Hey, believe it or not, this is the last show of 2025. For those of you that are just tuning in and have not got a chance to see the show for the first time, or those of you that have been following us, you know this quote started with the more than 300 quotes I created for the contents of my books. But, getting together with Otis, Naheem. We started out with just a couple of brothers, and all of a sudden, Larnaz and everyone else showed up, and we were just curious. Were the quotes that we carried with us, were there words that just lay there on our page, or were there a conversation to be had? We meet every Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And yes, sir, we do start on time. And we toss out a quote based on our perspectives or interpretation. We have conversations. I want to welcome all of my co-hosts that are my ride and die friends. We got PJ Scott with us. We got Anne Marie Mahoney, podcaster. We got the voice of our show, Otis Spencer, and Dr. Breakthrough. I'm surprised he's not breaking bricks on the show. We got Vanessa Vita. She's one of the originals. And we got the conscious of our show, Larnaz, and our thespian. All right, my brother from another mother. We have Naheem Garcia. And we're closing the year with my family from all other mothers and other fathers. And I welcome you to our year-end show. So today we have a dynamic quote, and this is the most best kept secret in Hollywood, the voice of our show. I'm going to ask Otis if he doesn't mind delivering the quote for this Motivational Sunday. Far away, Otis.
Good Sunday, everyone. When you know who you are, where you are, you make other people uncomfortable.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And so for hopefully you people that are listening that are recovering from the holidays, we're gonna let Dr. Breakthrough start off our show with this quote. How's this quote land on you, Dr. Breakthrough?
Hey, well, Breakthrough Sunday blessings, everybody. Spell Sunday, capital S, capital O, capital N. And trust everyone had a Merry Christmas. He's not just a reason for the season, he's a reason for everything. So this quote lands on me from the standpoint, when you know who you are and where you are, you make people uncomfortable. I think that's people that don't know who they are and where they are. They're the ones become uncomfortable. But the people with the right frame of mind, instead of becoming uncomfortable, like myself, they become inspired. I became inspired by meeting people when I didn't know who I was, and when I was trying to be a copycat of everybody else, which, by the way, it's okay to be a copycat as long as you're copying the right cats while you're on your way to becoming your own authentic cat. Come on. So you don't have to
All right.
reinvent the wheel, but you must put your own rims on it, because sometimes, Naheem, they only buy because of your rims. Come on now. So, but a lot of people today were born original, but a lot of people die a copy. And so because they're not being who they were meant to be, they feel uncomfortable when they're around someone who knows who they are, and it shakes them. And really, it shouldn't shake them. Really, it should inspire, encourage them to say, you know what? I'm going to break free to be the real me. And so for this 2026, this is a year when maybe you ought to put your mind to that. But yes, there are people that become uncomfortable. Like one of my mentors said, he said, if you want people to get after you, do three things. And I said, well, why would I want people to get after me? He said, but if you do these three things, if you have more, know more, and do more, they'll get after you. He said, if you want people to leave you alone, do three things. Have nothing, know nothing, and do nothing, they'll leave you alone. Well, I got to thinking, if I have nothing, know nothing, do nothing, they'll call me lazy and no good. So they're going to get after me no matter what I do. So I might as well let them get after me for doing the right thing. So when you know who you are, where you are, and especially in my case, whose you are, then you can be used to be an inspiration to the right kind of people. And yes, it's an uncomfortable feeling because, before that caterpillar can become a beautiful butterfly, it has to be uncomfortable in that cocooning stage, but it comes out a beautiful butterfly. So great people learn, get this now and I'll close. Great people learn to become comfortable with being put in an uncomfortable situation, because that's when their greatness comes out. And so, yes, when you know who you are, where you are, and especially whose you are, you make some people uncomfortable, but others, you're going to inspire them to break through.
You know something that's we laughed last week about talking about emojis, whatever. So I'm learning what the emojis mean. The fire, that was hot, Doctor Stan. That was hot. And when you speak, especially with this quote, you speak directly to a person's identity, their clarity, and their confidence within themselves. And as we all know, when we grow or evolve, we become grounded in exactly who we are. Not everyone can be comfortable with that. Sometimes we wear that mask. That's the reason why Halloween is so much fun. We get to pretend to be something else. Not everyone will be comfortable with who you present yourself in this world. And I hope in 2026 we show up, and I'm going to stop using this word authentic, but show up to the best version we are daily. And knowing who we are actually, at least for me, brings about a certain calm. And also um, that coat of armor that I call strength, it brings in the clarity. And the level of self awareness often challenges people to search within themselves for who they are within themselves, because everyone plays a fool sometimes. All right. So going back to R&B music. So 2025, Vanessa. All right, we're gonna get a perspective on a queen's point of view when she hears this quote. How's this quote land on you?
I was like, what a perfect quote for me to come back to the show with. Um, and what Dr. Breakthrough was so true. I mean, I just came out of my cocoon. I went and I retreated and I healed. And yes, people do get uncomfortable when they see your light because they have darkness. And whew, we know the darkness is powerful, it swallows us. But they keep trying to swim through to reach the light, whether they're digging, whether they're swimming, whatever they may be. It is profound. When you are light and people want light, they'll gravitate you like that bug machine, right? So it was extremely profound that you say that because I'm that person. People gravitate to me because of my light. And those who are like, oh, staring at me, like I went to this French bakery yesterday, and this one lady was like, oh, and wow, she was sucking up the fun, loving energy of the whole like bakery. And I was like, I saw that and I was like, okay, I need to be a little more tamed down so I can penetrate her. Was she penetrable? No, but her daughter was. And I heard them talking about it. And you just have to continue being the light because don't let that darkness swallow you.
All right, you are, when you talk about your growth, you are the mirror for others. And
Thank
the
you.
stance said it, and you are. Um, like I said, I'm excited when, DJ said this earlier when she saw the quote. She goes, wow, this is going to be a great quote. Um,
It's a resilient, you know,
yep, it
be
is
resilient.
resilient. So, Naheem Garcia, this is a man of many words, many visions, many people, and a person to get to know in his soul. And he gets a chance as a working actor, a celebrity, to wear many hats during the course of his lifetime. So I'm just curious of being so many to so many other people, or so much to so many other people, and being that anchor, that glue to your community. First of all, I want to say in 2025, all the things that you've done for your community, bringing people together and people that have been distracted, and allowing them to focus. I want to take my hat off to you, especially for what you do to our children in the city of Boston. So, Naheem, I just want to go ahead and give you your roses while I have a chance to do so.
I'll receive
This
them.
quote, all right, this quote, how does it land on you, brother?
Oh, this one more time just so I could get the full flavor.
Go ahead,
Absolutely.
Otis. Pop.
When you know who you are, where you are, you make other people uncomfortable.
Seems to be the case a lot of times. You got people that are haters, that they want your juice, and they try to make you feel like what you got isn't important, or what you got is belittling, or what you got is not enough. But in the reality of life is that you're the magnet they want to be, and they want what you want, and they want to take it. And I can't stop getting away from the fact that there are people that just want to hate on you just because your light is strong, and they'll never have it because their energy or their vessel is not designed to have that kind of light. It's not for them. So what they do instead is they hate. They create energy of darkness, as Vanessa say, to suck it up and block it. So keep your light on, no matter what happens. Keep your light on, keep shining, keep being yourself, and have faith in yourself. Believe in yourself, which is hard. We have a lot of things out here in the world trying to tear at you, trying to make you feel like you aren't and can't be. And we also have the power of words. A lot of times we think we're just talking and we're putting out spells. We're cursing on ourselves. So use your I am. I am the light that will shine throughout the universe, and stay that light until the Lord calls you home. Peace.
You know something, Naheem? My grandfather taught me. He says that peace makes noise. Uncertain, uncertainty only sounds good in an uncertain room, an unsettled room. I think that's what my grandfather said. Peace makes noise, loud noises,
Yep. One man
unsettled
said
rooms.
peace and it went around the world.
There you go. There you go. Um, I'm gonna, I gotta get my hand off to, I gotta give props to everyone that's doing great things on here. Podcast host, she is an educator, taking care of our young minds. She is a spiritual leader within her soul. She is a proud, strong mother, have raised some great kids and children's, and we need our children's, as people will say. And she's also an author, Anne-Marie Maloney. Um, I hope you don't mind me putting out your business out there like that. But how's this quote land on you? Speaking of quotes, before you go through, I got to tell you, um, February 26th, Wednesday, in Brooklyn, New York, they have a podcast fest. Larnaz and I went there before. You should probably go. Larnaz, I got to talk to you about that. I'm just rambling on. It's the end of the year. Who cares? But anyway, Anne-Marie, do your thing.
That sounds amazing. That sounds amazing. Grand Rising, everybody. Good morning. When I hear that quote, how it landed on me is it seems apparent that it's really talking about the insecurities of one human being in relationship to another. And the person who is confident, they know who they are, they walk into the room, they take up space, heads turn. First of all, you want to be that person because you want to know who you are. But then it's a mirror to that person who's feeling insecure, who lack the confidence, who don't know where they're walking. And how it landed on me is I was thinking about how do we change the narrative in terms of that person who's feeling uncomfortable? Because I think about Jesus and I think about our mothers and our grandmothers and I think about our families, how we would make people go out of our way to make people feel comfortable because we want to welcome everybody. And I want to give you an example. Before becoming an educated, I actually worked in media. And one of my freelance projects was with BET. Yes, that BET that's now sold and resold. I've lost track of who owns it. Is it Viacom or someone of that sort? But Robert Johnson founded BET, Black Entertainment Television, in 1980, as well as his wife, Sheila Johnson. And one of the things they had in the 80s, first of all, it was a beautiful buildings, plural, because it's a compound in Washington, D.C., is that they had a walk of fame. You know how Hollywood has their walk of fame? They decided they're going to honor people of color in such a fashion. And as a freelance media person, when you're in the room and all of these celebrities are around you, and first of all, you have to keep your composure. Because you can get starstruck easily. And one of the celebrities was like Michael Jackson. And I distinctly remember the Eddie Levert being a performer. If you're in a room and in a space like that, it's so easy to feel intimidated. It is so easy to feel insecure. But going back to who Jesus would want us to be, that is to make people feel welcome, to make people feel included, to make people feel like there's room here at the table for you too. So when I think about when you know who you are, you're not threatened by other people. It's because you already have that in you in terms of that knowing, that understanding of your authentic self. So why not? Why not go ahead and help somebody reach that place? Why not go ahead and help somebody become who they need to be? And so the quote seems to land on me. It's an opportunity to help somebody else become who they are. That's how it landed.
And and I hope people that are receiving this message understands growth often changes relationships, and that could be either positive or negative. Um, so Otis, if you don't mind, before we go to PJ, to give us that quote again, in that smooth multi-million dollar Hollywood voice of yours, go ahead and deliver that again.
When you know who you are, where you are, you make other people uncomfortable.
All right, PJ. All right,
Oh,
PJ.
so much there. One little sentence, and there's so much there. Um, I've got to tell y'all, I'm uncomfortable being here among all these smart people, but I suppose that God put me here because I have something to say too. Thank you for
There
listening.
you go.
Thank you for inviting me. So, when this happens and I'm aware that other people are uncomfortable, my first reaction is to think, uh-oh, watch your back. But that is never the right way to go, no matter what happens. You never have to feel fear like that, because what I would call a doubtful situation, they are abundant and come in many forms and guises. And this is where you remind yourself that this is just a test of faith. And our faith is tested constantly. And the more we let go and let God, the more our faith is tested. This is a never ending situation. So I just remind myself to rise above. These situations, they come and they go. It's nothing that abides. So I just move on. And when I teach universal law, which is God stuff, the truths that are the same in every religion. This is what I teach. We're not alone in our beliefs. Anybody who's with God has similar beliefs. It's truth versus illusion. So anybody who's uncomfortable around me, I'm I have my moments, but I'm basically a good person. I'm here to help. I'm not here to steal anybody's thunder. So first thing I teach is that what we know and what we've learned, we wield a lot of power. But if we're smart, we realize that this is not our power. This is God working through us. So, bottom line, keep a high watch on your thinking. And I end up with, okay, this happened, and it does happen. It happens often. People are uncomfortable and they try to make you uncomfortable. I just ask myself, what do I need to learn from this? That's how that quote landed on me.
PJ, always remember this. Confidence can be intimidating to others that are uncertain about who they are. Standing firm is not the same as being arrogant. Owning your own truth, seeing your life and your purpose, and connecting to a spirit much stronger than any energy that we may have around us is you being honest with your soul. So, you are one of the smart people on this show. Don't ever shrink in order to make someone else feel better. All
Thank
right.
you.
You are. So we have gotten to that point. Last show of the 2025 year, but it is the beginning, not the end. So we've gotten to that point in the show when we get to hear the interpretation and the quote one more time by that Hollywood voice of Otis Spencer. And then I come up in the rear doing my little thing, whatever. We'll just laugh about that. But anyway, Otis, how does this quote land on you? If you don't mind delivering it one more time for 2025, go ahead.
And deliver the quote and pass it on to Larnez. She is
Oh,
before
you know
me.
something? I am so glad you did that. Um, Otis, don't deliver the quote. Larnez, go ahead, set up the closing of the show. Hey, hey, see,
When you know
Larnez, I told you you're gonna mess me up.
when you know who you are, where you are, you make other people uncomfortable.
Grand
All right,
Rising,
Larnez.
and I almost got skipped over.
You almost got skipped over. You
But
know
it's
why?
my fault. Okay.
You want to know why? I was so certain of that 15 minutes. I was focused on that. I said, I got to do the show on time. But I said, forget about it. It's 2024. This is our show. All
Mhm.
right. And you guys remind me of that. So no, you can't skip you over. You're just standing there, center of attention. You are the show. Go ahead, do your thing.
Okay. So the way this quote hit me, to me, clarity is confrontational. When you know who you are, you stop negotiating your worth in rooms that only respect confusion. You stop softening your needs so someone else doesn't feel exposed. You stop pretending you're asking for too much when you're really asking the wrong person. And knowing where you are, that's when you realize you've already outgrown this space, but stayed because you were loyal to the idea of what it could become. Let's talk about the grief nobody prepares you for. You're not grieving the person, you're grieving the fantasy you funded, the version of them that only exists in your patience, the future you scripted in your head while they never bothered to learn their lines. The belief that love, consistency, and understanding would inspire them to choose differently. But here's the trigger. They never agreed to be who you needed them to be. You did that alone. So when life guides you to step back in, it's not punishment, it's self-rescue. You are being asked to grieve not just who they are, but who you keep hoping they become instead of believing their actions. That grief hurts because it exposes how long you've been bargaining with reality. Releasing that story is an act of integrity. Integrity says, I will not hold myself hostage to potential. I will not keep loving someone's future while bleeding in their presence. I will not stay loyal to an imagination that requires my self abandonment. And this is why people get uncomfortable when you finally arrive in yourself, because you stop over functioning. You stop filling emotional gaps that refuse to get addressed. You stop making excuses that protect their comfort at the expense of your clarity. Your boundaries become mirrors. Your silence becomes loud. Your absence says what your patience used to cover up, everyone can see now. And because your freedom reminds them of the work that they keep avoiding, not because you're judging them, because you're becoming the proof that growth is possible, proof that healing requires choice, proof that love without accountability is just prolonged disappointment. So if someone feels unsettled in your groundedness, let them. You are not cold, you are complete. You are not bitter, you are awake. You are not too much, you are no longer available for less. And the moment you stop holding yourself hostage to who someone could be, you reclaim your time, you reclaim your power, you reclaim yourself. That's not loss, that's liberation. And that's how this hit me.
Amazing. Thank you.
All right. Applause, applause, applause. People, knowing who you are eliminates the need for approval. If I can summarize what you just said, that was fire. Otis, 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 Otis. You have to follow Lornez. You have to follow Lornez. That's the glory of this show. When you surround yourself with highly intelligent people, you grow. I grow every single week when I'm in the company of PJ, Otis, Dr. Breakthrough, Anne Marie, Vanessa, not my brother, Naheem, and Lornez, my bodyguard. So if you ever see me in public, watch out. All right. She's Dr. Breakthrough breaks bricks. Larnez hits you at home in your soul. So, but I am very grateful to all of you, and Denise is not here today. Dr. Ferguson K-Mac is not here. Some other people that normally come on the show are not here. I just want to thank everyone for the years that we have been together, for showing up, volunteering your time, because none of us getting paid for it. And I just want to say that you're much appreciated. So, Otis, how does this quote land on you? If you don't mind delivering it one more time for the year. Um,
When you know who you are, where you are, you make other people uncomfortable. When you know who you are, you have to be comfortable in your own skin. Number one. Where you are, know your surroundings. Do the right thing in those surroundings. Believe in yourself. I think of, again, the two twins I took care of for a short while. And I'm in my own place, but yet you have to lay down the groundwork. They were like wild turkeys, and you have to keep laying down the rules. They, of course, felt very uncomfortable when somebody has to keep pushing them to try to do the right thing. To the point now, I gave off some Christmas gifts, and one of them is still not in the right place. And I said, "Would you like to work the elections?" And he said, yes, trying to get him to the right place to do something for himself and make his own money. So, yes, did I make him uncomfortable? But yet he's coming around to do the right thing. And that's how it landed on me.
All right. So to follow all this greatness, I stand in the realm of all of purpose. My grandfather, told me so many wonderful things, but the one thing when created my one word, it was hope, helping other people every day. So when I look at this quote means to me about self-awareness is your power. Is when you truly know who you are and where you stand in this life. You stop seeking validation or approval or permission from others. That confidence you have can be unsettling to people that do not have confidence within themselves, especially those who are uncertain, insecure, or afraid to face their own truth. Your clarity exposes confusion, and your peace highlights the chaos in other people's life. The discomfort is not your responsibility to fix. As the year comes to a close, let me say this, and let this be a reminder. You don't have to own everyone else's confusion about who you are. Walk boldly into your next season grounded in your own truth. If your confidence makes other people uncomfortable, that is often a sign that they are not in line or headed or healed or growing. Don't dim your light just to make someone else feel safe. Carry this clarity into the new year, knowing who you are, and where you are going. My grandfather always said, when you get to a place in life, it is your duty to help someone else out. He said, reach one, teach one. And with that said,
We
I'm not
fade to
gonna say-
black.
Fade to black.
All right.
Make
All right.
make sure you come back.
Yes, yes. And as we close out the new year, I want to thank everyone for walking with us, growing with us, and believing in us. If you like what you've heard and would like to be a featured co-host on this show, the link and all the information is on our YouTube page. Go to RMK Production and Network, like, follow us, or to subscribe. This is Kevin, reminding you to walk in your own purpose. Ours is hope, helping other people every day. And with that said, Happy New Year, happy life. Stay within the moment, live within your space, and let your light shine.
Welcome Motivation Sunday with Kevin and friends.